Yeah, here she comes. Beverly's got daddy's MasterCard and takes a ride out to Melrose. At Sweetser Avenue she makes a start just to see how the cash flows. Rockstar fashion, hip-hop jewelry, and man, those heels are sky high. Tonight that latest.
And once again, Joe the Shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, so good to be back. I know it's been a long time, and as usual, it is only partly my fault that it took so long to get back. No emergencies this time around. I've just been very, very busy doing stuff. You know, Mondays are particularly busy for me because I'm interning 10 hours a day, and then I have the drive there, the drive back. By the time I get back, it's after 7 o'clock, and I am tired. And then, it's summer, spending time with the girlfriend, getting everything together. And, of course, the technical difficulties I had on the last show, which was a complete and total bitch. And for that one, you know what? I'm going out on a limb there. I'm blaming Spreaker for that one because they changed how they do some of the stuff here, how you set up before you broadcast. And they move things around, and I didn't click on the right button, so that's where it comes in to be my fault, But here I am, okay? It's not like what's going on with Time Warner and CBS, okay? Me and Spreaker are simpatico still, okay? It's not a battle between us here. It's just, my own stupidity and their inability to tell me what's going on. But that's like I say, it's not Time Warner and CBS. Now, I don't know if you've been following this at all. If you happen to enjoy CBS programming and Showtime, you may have noticed that your cable station, if it's Time Warner, didn't have it on for you for a little while there. And the battle rages on. What is going on there, you might be asking? Well, basically, it's about two really, really huge companies that want more money. Not just from you and me, but from each other. My girlfriend works these kind of contracts out where people get paid if this happens, people get paid if that happens. They make out a certain deal. Well, for Time Warner and CBS, what's happening here is Time Warner pays CBS roughly $1, maybe a little less than $1 per subscriber that gets CBS through their cable station. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but CBS wants more. To put it in perspective, somebody like ESPN, they get $6 per subscriber that's carried on something like Time Warner. So which is why ESPN costs you so much money, or why it's such a big part of your bill if you're with Time Warner, and probably other cable and satellite stations as well. So what's going on is CBS wants a bigger deal because, they're figuring, well, hell, I'm fucking CBS. I am the biggest, most popular network around. And that's the truth, okay? Because not only are they CBS, but they also own Showtime. So we're talking about, The Good Wife, your Dexters, and all the other Showtime shows, so they're thinking, well, if you want our stuff, we want you to pay more. They want $2 per subscriber. And Time Warner basically is telling them to go fuck themselves. You can't go around comparing yourself to an ESPN because, let's be honest with you, the truth is you can get CBS for free as long as you have a TV and an antenna. But the fact of the matter is none of us really, watches regular TV these days. I mean, there are people out there, out in the Ozarks and, still fuck their sisters. I'm sure they still do it, but I make fun. Please don't come out here and kidnap me. But it's a silly argument because, yes, you can get CBS, ABC, NBC, and Fox for free if you have a TV and antenna, but the vast majority of American households have some sort of cable or satellite provider that includes, not just cable channels, but the network channels as well in your high def and, and then you have your ability to watch it whenever you want and on demand and, all that good stuff. So that is what's going on there. And this is we're not talking about small markets here. We're talking about them blacking out Dallas, Los Angeles, and New York City. Okay, we're talking about 3 million people who can't catch their show. Now, right now, it's not a big deal because it's August. There really isn't much going on network-wise in August. But football season is coming, and football season gets here, and they don't have a deal in place. There's a good chance the federal government will actually get involved and say, hey, you can't leave the American public without their NFL. All right? You guys better come together and figure this shit out. Because otherwise they will come in and they're going to start to regulate. And you don't ever want the government regulating anything that you're doing, okay? Especially if it involves money, sex, or drugs. You do not want the federal government involved. At least not when it's your stuff, So that's what's going on with them. It's for a lot of people, not an interesting topic. For me, it is because it does, in some intensely small way, relate to what I do. I'm not picked up by a station right now, though I am going to be applying to be broadcast on iHeartRadio. Maybe I'll make $1 or $2. But there's always something going on with broadcasting, TV, radio. Radio here in Los Angeles has been very interesting. I don't know if you're familiar with Piolín. Piolín is a Mexican radio show host here in Los Angeles, whose show is, I think, the second most popular talk show in Los Angeles. It was number one up until a couple of months ago. And his radio show is rebroadcast in about 50 other cities across the United States. So he is pretty popular. He does his real name, Eddie Piolín Sotelo. He does a lot of sketch comedy on his show. He brings in guests, but he also tries to relate as much as he can to his Mexican heritage and encouraging Mexicans, to educate themselves, to vote, to fight, anti-immigration laws. He's very proactive when it comes to politics and, trying to empower his people. Well, recently, Univision Radio, which was in charge of Eddie's show, fired his ass. This was about 2-3 weeks ago, and excuse me. Originally, it was like no reason given. He came on Monday, boom, he did a show. Tuesday, he didn't have a job. And what happened there is some staff members on his show are alleging sexual harassment. Now, let's see. And it's not just one person, but what makes it interesting, actually, is that it's a man that's actually alleging sexual harassment here. Let me see if I can find this here. Let's see. Until 2 weeks ago, Sotelo hosted the nationally syndicated Piolín por la Mañana, or Piolín in the Morning, radio program. The Times reported last week that Univision Communications severed ties with Sotelo on July 22nd after a performer on his show, Alberto Beto Cortez, lodged allegations with Univision that Sotelo had sexually harassed him. Sotelo was Cortez's supervisor and denies the allegations. Now, since then, other former Univision employees have stepped forward to point a picture of a locker room atmosphere that was tolerated by Univision because Sotelo's program was financially lucrative. That comes from the Los Angeles Times here. Okay. I've listened to Piolin's show a time or two, and he's a funny guy. He speaks Spanglish, basically, which is always a lot of fun. But his show is very, very, very racy. It is very sexual. It is very political. And it is very, very raunchy. And in my opinion, you cannot expect to work on a program like this and not expect, as they put it, a locker room atmosphere. Now, for those of you not familiar with the term, the locker room atmosphere means a lot of really rough, raunchy, sexual jokes. I mean, loads of them, okay? If you ever hung out in a locker room, if you're a guy, you know what I'm fucking talking about. Basically, it'd be like a bunch of guys hanging out with me and talking the way I do. That's what guys do. And I think it's unreasonable for anybody to get a job on the Piolín por la Mañana show and then expect for it to be a very corporate, quiet atmosphere, very respectful and professional, when not on the air. Okay? When you're doing this kind of show, who you are on the air, how you are on the air is a big reflection of who you are in real life, usually. You hear all these stories about comedians or TV show actors or radio hosts who are allegedly like 100% different from the person they are on the show. Okay, that's when you're doing a character. I understand that. But when you're doing a radio show or a podcast like I'm doing here, what you're hearing from me right now, this is the way I am all the time. All right? I've got opinions. I curse a lot. I drink too much. I talk about getting laid and pussy and tits and all that. That's what I do. So for anybody that wants to be on my show, I always let them know, listen, okay, I'm asking you respectfully to come and do my show, but, the show itself is going to be, well, I suggest you listen to it and understand what I'm talking about here, okay? I mean, I've had guests on my show. One of them I referred to as pocket pussy, all right? So you got to know, all right? I mean, it's not that all that different from, say, Imus or Howard Stern. I mean, you don't go on the Howard Stern show and expect respect, okay? I mean, up to a point, yes, you do, but you understand that it's going to be fun. It's going to be stupid. It's going to be raunchy. One of my favorite shows out here in Los Angeles is actually Heidi and Frank. I try to catch their show pretty much every morning while I'm, getting ready during the morning, getting my stuff together. And, I would never expect to go on that show and expect them to not curse, to expect them to not make really an off-color joke here or there, okay? And I'm telling you right now, the jokes I make on this show right now, the ones you listen to, are nothing compared to the ones I do in my private life. I mean, people that really know me and hang out with me, they know just how fucked up I can really, really, really be. So, I think it's childish to think that you can work on one of these shows and not expect a certain amount of raunch and sexuality, and it's silly. I understand in your private life, maybe it's not something you want to do. Like I have a friend of mine who recently got married, and he posted on Facebook, he's enjoying his honeymoon, and I wrote back to him, I was like, hey, did you get lucky? And I made some very off-color joke that he did not take well. I apologize for that because that was public and everybody else could see it, but between me and him, I know I can tell that joke to him. I'm not going to share it right now. Okay, I will. No, I asked him if he got lucky, and then let him know that sex with hot guys doesn't count, because I was talking about if he was playing poker or not. But I can understand where he would be offended by that. I'm doing it here because this is my show, and this is what I talk about. But, on his Facebook page, I get it. That was wrong, and all my apologies on that one. Oh, my God. So much stuff to do. Oh, and by the way, today's music is being brought to you by Julian Angel. That first song you heard was called Bling Bling. Second song coming up, believe it or not, is called Jump Jump by Julian Angel. Let's see if it lives up to the hype of the first song, okay? I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back. Promise.
Check this out. to the liquor store. Get your hook, line, single like a don't need a break till your knees start to quiver like a rattlesnake shake. You drop my jaw when I judge you by the cover, looking axe out. Call you lady level lover. I'm your shotgun shot, a Johnny on the spot. Are you ready, steady, baby? Show me what you've got. Jump, 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 jump. Bring it down, kick it down. Jump, jump, jump. Shake your foundations to the ground. Jump, 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 jump. You gotta get soaking wet. Jump, jump, jump. Till your heart's wet, drip with sweat. Come over me in that one.
And welcome back once again. Show the shirts off the cuff. Jump, jump. Now, as you may have noticed by today's the title of the show, and now T-shirts are off the cuff. Why did I include that? Well, it just so happens that I have approved and commissioned a T-shirt design for Joe the Shirts off the cuff, and I should be getting a prototype of it within about a week or so, and I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm going to decide whether or not I like it, and then I'm going to decide, how much I might think about selling it, and also giving it away. Actually, I'm trying to advertise for myself. Basically, I'm a whore. All right, in case you didn't realize, I'm just a filthy, dirty whore, and that's what I do. Besides, I think it's a really cool design. I think it's funny. The shirt is me in all my Joe the Shirt garb, which is absolutely ridiculous looking. And then I have a little bubble above me that says, "Listen to Joe the Shirts off the cuff, and I'll make fun of your mom." And that pretty much encapsulates my take on life in general. Oh my God, what are we here to talk about? Here's one for you. I was talking to a buddy of mine just earlier today, and he called me and he asked me about this chick that he's been trying to get with, and he asked, he got her phone number, and he calls her and makes plans with her, and then she cancels on him. Last minute, something came up, work related, whatever. Okay, so then they make plans for another day. She calls him again and says, "I can't. I got another work-related thing, and I'm going to be really super busy, and it's gonna go all the way through the weekend." And he asked me, what I thought about that, and I'm just like, oh, I've expressed to him something I've said many, many times. Unless there are really extenuating circumstances, if somebody really wants to see you, really wants to spend time with you, they will find a way. Okay? That I think is a pretty decent all-around fact there. I mean, yes, every once in a while something will happen. You got in a car accident, you got shot, your unit got shipped off to Iraq, whatever. I understand that's going to happen. But when somebody tells you that, yeah, I got this work thing, so I'm going to be busy pretty much all this week, and it's going to go through the weekend, and then she doesn't offer an alternate date, like an alternate time to do something, I think that's her telling you that she really doesn't want to see you, but she doesn't want to tell you that. And my thought process on this is, I'm 42 years old. I'm almost 43. My homeboy is 35. We understand rejection way better than women do, okay? We get rejection. We've become accustomed to rejection, all right? So, you're not sparing our feelings, okay, ladies, by just not telling us the truth. It's okay if you don't like us. You can tell us you don't like us. The vast majority of men are not psycho stalkers, okay? And even if you think you're just, playing the odds, just making sure, it's not going to help. If a psycho stalker really wants you, whether or not you let him down easy or just tell him up front, honestly, he's going to come after you anyway. So, I mean, okay, it's okay to not like somebody. I mean, I'm talking to my friend and I'm telling him, it's like, dude, you're one of my closest, dearest friends, and I don't even fucking like you. He's like, shit, I don't fucking like you either. I've thought about kicking your ass a few times. I'm like, dude, one time I saw you crossing the street, I thought about hitting you with my car. And that's how we know we're friends. Because we can say things and we're honest with each other, I think women do themselves a disservice when they try to give hints as to, not wanting to see you. They're hoping you'll catch on after like the third or fourth time you tell them that you blow them off or they blow you off. It's like, I'm busy, I got work. One time he actually told me that some woman said to him, oh, you know what? I was going to come by tonight, but then I remembered it's my kid's birthday. I'm like, what? How did that one slip by ya? Oh my God. It's ridiculous is what that is. What's going on with the world these days? I don't know. That's my shitty Irish Scottish accent that I try to do. I got some quick news items here. Oh, by the way, guys, just to let you know, I haven't forgotten about my friends out there like Calliope's Canned Commodities. My friend Jessica and who's my other friend whose name? Okay, Amanda, Gucci, Gucci Boom Boom, and Red Fox. Calliope Canned Commodities. They do some great pickles and tomatoes and jams and all that great shit. Also, my buddy Wesley Avila and his Gorilla Tacos downtown Los Angeles. Check that out. And also my own sister Jessica with her Diaper Cakes by Jessica. So, okay, yes, I got to remember to throw those in there. I'm not going to do too many commercials today because I want to get some stories out. Speaking of taco shops, 3 die in a shooting at a taco shop in Salinas. Apparently, a 21-year-old man was arrested on Monday on suspicion of opening fire outside a Salinas taco shop during a pre-dawn gang brawl, killing 3 people and injuring 4 others in a city that has seen 10 killings in 12 days. Man was Giovanni Pacheco, was taken into custody hours after the shooting and booked in the Monterey County Jail. Which just lets you know, when I say hot sauce, I mean I want fucking hot sauce, bitch. God, it's sad though. We're talking about a 22-year-old guy dead, 28-year-old man shot, taken to the hospital, pronounced dead, 25-year-old man dead. It's like, I'm not in a gang. I've never been in a gang. Never wanted to be in a gang. But you get into a fight, you get into a brawl. That's fine. You get into okay. You hit them with a stick. They hit you with a bat, a chain, a fist, a kick. But once you start bringing out the knives and the Uzis, I think it's going too far. Now, do you guys know what boobies are? Well, boobies are they are a bracelet that people wear to bring awareness to breast cancer awareness. They're called boobies, okay? And booby T-shirts, bracelets, and they you see the words, I heart boobies, which is supporting breast cancer awareness. Some schools decided that they were obscene and not appropriate for young girls to wear. On the other hand, the U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeals concluded that school officials didn't prove the bracelets were disruptive. Quote, because the bracelets here are not plainly lewd and because they comment on a social issue, they may not be categorically banned. Written 9-5 decision by Judge D. Brooks Smith. You know what? I applaud you. I applaud you, Mr. D. Brooks Smith, because you took a really ridiculous issue and just laid it out as very, very simple. All right? Here's another quick story for you. One person dies in a crash between a bike and a bus. Any guesses on which one kicked the bucket? No, I think it'd be great if like a bicycle just hit a bus and like a passenger died on the bus, but that's not what happened. One person was killed, 2 others were injured. Apparently, multiple bicycles were hit. Oh, and once again, I really don't care. I just think it's funny. That's what I do. Let's see, in Santa Ana, a deputy allegedly... Now, okay, here's one now for you. What do you like on your pizza? Do you like pepperoni? Most people do. Do you like sausage? Yeah, I think so. I like sun-dried tomatoes sometimes. I've been known to enjoy bacon, shrimp, anchovies on the very rare time when I'm eating by myself. But never in my life have I ever enjoyed pepper spray on my pizza. One officer, Juan Tavera, 30, was charged with one misdemeanor count of assault or battery by a public officer. Apparently, another officer had pulled over a man, routine traffic stop. Juan shows up, looks in the back of the car, sees the pizza, opens it up, pepper sprays it, lets the man go on his way, and then man went home and shared his pizza with 4 of his buddies, where all 5 of them then experienced what they call physical discomfort. I don't care what anybody says. That's fucking funny. Let's see. Once again, France causing stir up in the news. Now, a very common law in a lot of countries, including this one, is you're not allowed to hide your face in public. You're not allowed to wear a mask. I mean, there are exceptions, obviously, Halloween, parties, galas, shit like that. But generally speaking, don't walk into a bank wearing a mask. It's a bad idea, okay? I don't care if you live here in Los Angeles and you don't like the air, so you wear one of those stupid little faggoty surgical masks that a lot of people do in this town. When you go into the bank, take it off, because you will have, middle-aged fat guys pointing guns at you. You don't want that. Now, I know that if you are part of the Nation of Islam, a Muslim, it is very common for women to wear the veil, the part of the burqa where they have to be covered, because a woman's body is only for her husband, and part of her body is obviously her face. So you're not allowed to show... in very old-fashioned, old-style Islamic cultures, you're not allowed to expose your face. Just your eyes, that's it. And I've seen a lot of women, wearing sunglasses, because the eyes could be a very beautiful and alluring thing. So, okay, I get that, but I also get that a country that you live in has the right to tell you that... that's dangerous, because, once a person is in a burqa, you can't tell whether or not there's a woman in there, which is kind of the reason that you put on the burqa in the first place, so that you can't tell. Pardon me. So really, it could be anybody under that burqa. It could be a terrorist. I hate to say it, but that is the world we live in. And France has been having a very strong law for them, which is that they don't allow veils in public places, in government buildings, for safety reasons. And I get that, and I actually support that. In France here, apparently about 250 people were hurling projectiles, clashed with the police, firing tear gas west of Paris in a protest of the enforcement of France's ban on Islamic face veils. 5 people were injured and 6 detained in the violence, authorities said. France has barred the face veil since 2011. Of course, Muslims are claiming an infringement on their religious rights. And, I gotta go with the French on this one, which is not something I like to say very often, but I gotta go with the French because, it is a matter of public safety. In this country, you're not allowed to go around wearing a mask all day long, in public places without very specific reasons going on for very specific time. Like I say, you walk, you know what, you love dressing up like Darth Vader. Great, go ahead. Once again, don't go into the bank looking like that. It's going to bring suspicion on you. Oh, and before I take my next break, I want to also give a little shout out to a guy I used to work with, a buddy of mine, Michael Bryant. He's now executive chef at Churchill. Worked with Michael some years ago. He is a very great chef, very talented man. He's being showcased in the July 20th LA Times. He's a Southern boy, and he brings his Southern charm and flavor to a more modern type of cooking. Good stuff, lots of stuff. And he's the kind of guy that he's a lot like me in some ways, that he thinks a lot of things are funnier than normal people are willing to admit that he is. Like when I used to work with him at this place that I'm not going to mention because I hate them. One of his appetizers was called Mike's Nuts. And that's just fucking funny, all right? But if you ever get the chance, you're here in Los Angeles, go check out Mike and his restaurant Churchill. Also, you can catch him on Food Network's Chef Wanted, and he also appeared on Chopped. All right, so check him out, man. He is becoming internationally known chef here. Go check that out, okay? And once again, we're going to take a break with today's band, Julian Angel, and their song, Sucker Punch.
Exposure 'cause your dad is rich. Good for nothing, untalented celebrity bitch. You never had the guts to rock with me, 'cause you're a teeny I don't wanna be. Go move yourself to choreography, and you're just a
And once again, Joe the Shirts. Off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. Everybody. Again, that was Sucker Punch by Julian Angel. You know what? I'm listening to myself speak, and I realize I'm doing a bit more stutter because I'm kind of out of practice. I haven't done this for about 2.5 weeks. So if I sound a little off, my apologies. Now, we got celebrities in the news today. One celebrity, of course, is once again one of my all-time favorites, Lindsay Lohan, who is currently out of rehab. She just got out. Isn't that great? Suspending, I think it was like 30 days in rehab. Yeah, that's enough. Lindsay Lohan is out, and not just out, but she already landed a job. If you're a big fan of Chelsea Lately, you may have seen her. She's a guest host on Chelsea Lately. So let's think about this. We have drug-addicted, alcoholic, wreck of a human being hosting Chelsea Lately. Did anybody notice the difference? Anybody? Anybody at all? Apparently she's hired a sober coach, to keep an eye on her. Somebody, you got to know that your shit is fucked up when you actually need somebody, not to just follow you around and make sure that there's no booze anywhere. It's not like your normal AA. I mean, where, okay, you have a sponsor. Okay, that's fine. You feel like you're slipping, you call somebody. Now, this is basically your own private jailer walking around with you, making sure, hey, is that hard cider? Put it down. Lindsay. poor dear. Now, someone I don't feel sorry for at all is, of course, Jim Carrey. If you guys are familiar with the movie Kick-Ass, and of course, the upcoming Kick-Ass 2, you'll know that Jim Carrey is in this movie. You might have also heard that Jim Carrey has decided not to do any promotions for this movie. Like, he's not going to do the talk show circuit. He's not going to do any commercials outside of his footage in the movie for it. He's not doing junkets. He's not doing media and press junkets, nothing like that. Jim Carrey says that, well, let's take a look here. Says that in reference to the movie Kick-Ass, that he, quote, cannot support the level of violence in the wake of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in which 20 children and 6 educators were slain in December. Quote, I am not ashamed of it, but recent events have caused a change in my heart, end quote, Carrey said of his Kick-Ass 2 debut there. He plays Colonel Stars and Stripes, and apparently he finished footage for this movie about a month before the whole Sandy Hook thing happened, and Jim Carrey has got a long history. Here's a quote, another one from the LA Times. Quote, as you may know, Jim is a passionate advocate of gun control, and I respect both his politics and his opinion, but I am baffled by this sudden announcement, as nothing seen in this picture wasn't in the screenplay 18 months ago, according to writer Mark Miller, who came up with the comic book Kick-Ass. And now, if you saw Kick-Ass 1, Kick-Ass 2 is pretty much picks up where it took off, okay? We're talking about a lot of violence, gunplay, drug use, sometimes even by children, hospitalizations, nudity. I mean, this is your basic R-rated movie, okay? And Jim Carrey knew this coming in, and I think he's being a whiny little bitch now. I have no sympathy for him. Just like Angus T. Jones, criticizing 2.5 Men. I'm like, who the fuck are you, man, to bite the hand that feeds you? Okay? Well, let's be honest. Jim Carrey hasn't had a fucking hit in God knows how long. Did you see Mr. Popper's Penguins? No, you didn't. Nobody did. So, I'm I have no sympathy for Jim Carrey here, and really, it's once again he's saying. One of the things he's saying here is that, quote from Jim Carrey here, my character is a guy that came from a violent background who is trying to turn it around, and he uses a gun with no bullets in it. These are things I'm not considering now. I am considering now because I just feel like we don't cause the now because I just feel like we don't cause the problem, but we don't help it much either, according to what he told MTV News. And I agree with that much. Yes, we do not. I don't think movies and TV contribute to real violence you see in your everyday life out there. And I also don't think that it helps. And I don't think it should have to. I think you're telling a story, and the story should really stand on its own. I mean, let's face facts. Even without fiction, there are a zillion violent stories out there. Dating back from the caveman days, all right? Dating back from Adam and Eve days, if you want to go that route. I mean, these stories exist, and they're going to get told. And sometimes you're going to tell a story that never actually happened, okay? Because I got to tell you, in a galaxy far, far away, Luke Skywalker did not have his hand chopped off by his father. Didn't happen. But it's a violent story that somebody decided to tell, and we were thoroughly entertained by it. I had the action figures to prove it. Now, here's one for you that I thought was absolutely fascinating here. Jason Patric. He is a Hollywood actor and a decently good-looking guy. He's had his share of success, nothing recently, but, some time ago, he decided he was going to donate sperm. This was back in 2009 as part of a fertility treatment that resulted in the pregnancy for his former girlfriend, Danielle Schreiber. Okay, I'm going to tell you first of all, right here, don't donate your sperm. Okay, just don't do it. It's a bad idea. And it's definitely don't donate to somebody that actually knows you, that can identify you in a lineup. Don't do that. But, so he donates the sperm with the understanding that, she'll be the one raising the child without his involvement, without his financial support. Boom. Okay, he's just a donor. Now he says that he wants to be involved in the kid's life, that he does want to help raise it. He does want to be financially responsible for this kid. And under normal circumstances, he's kind of screwed. Because what normally happens is, you donate sperm, you're done. You've pretty much signed away your rights as a dad. Now, I don't like this on several fronts. One, I don't like the idea of Jason Patrick making a big deal out of this. I don't like the idea of him opening up the doorway for people that donate sperm to be sought after by the donees. I mean, because what's going to happen, in my opinion, what's going to happen is women are going to start to decide, well, this guy's the father of this child. My husband left me, or he died. I think that the actual father should be responsible for this kid, should help raise him, or at the very least be financially responsible for him. Jason, that's a bad way to go. I think you're making a mistake here. You're opening up this big Pandora's box of women who are going to come after guys who have been donating sperm, and you're going to screw them all over. Because the law has decided that you cannot sign away the rights of a child. Okay? Just because you and the mother get into an agreement and say, okay, I'm going to donate sperm, but then that's it for me. I don't want anything else to do with it. Well, you know what? The mother can agree to that, but she can't agree to that for the baby. I mean, even if the mother turns out to be a total crack addict and can't afford the baby, and she signed the waiver and she doesn't want the father's help, the courts can intercede and say, well, you know what? Just because you made an agreement with this guy doesn't mean we have to uphold it, because the child didn't sign that agreement. And the child, even if here's the best part, even if the child did agree to something like this, if he's under 18, that contract can be invalidated. So I'm telling you guys out there, don't donate sperm. You got a friend of yours or an ex-girlfriend that wants to have a baby and wants it to look like you because you're so damn handsome and so damn smart. If you're that damn smart, don't give her any fucking sperm, all right? If your best friend is a lesbian and her and her partner want to have a baby and they think that, your background will be a wonderful addition to their family, don't give them any fucking sperm, all right? It's a bad fucking idea. And like I said, this is just going to open up, like I said, the biggest Pandora's box when it comes to these. He thinks he's doing men a favor by getting sperm donor rights. No, what he's doing is getting a sperm donor ball and chain, all right? Because that really does leave it open to so many guys out there that may have donated sperm, 5, 10, 15 years ago, who were maybe just trying to get through college, pay for stuff, maybe just thought it'd be funny to donate sperm. Lord knows I would. But now you are opening this box where these people can now come after you and screw you over for the rest of your life, or at least for the next 18 years, or, because, and even if the kids are already 17, a lot of cases, they can go back for money. So I said, don't do it. I'm going to come back to this one because I love this story. I want to do it again. Maybe I'll do it one today, but for right now, it's actually time to let you guys go. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry that it seems a little blocky from me, a little jittery coming from me today, but I will get better. I promise you. Maybe I'll have a plan next time. But until then, here's Strip Down Vegas by Julian Angel. Thank you for listening. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I've been Off the Cuff.
Faking a smile and a wiggle and a strut. She rocks the joint when the place is hot.